Ghak'tok sat in a waiting room just outside his supervisor's office. The steel-coloured insectoid clicked his mandibles and drummed his legs on the floor to keep himself from dozing off. Curse his obsession. He was the lead statistician and data analyst on his team within the government organisation, the Confederate Statistics Division. He got to his position because his gut buzzed when something was wrong with the numbers, and he would analyse the finest details about what was wrong. His gut feeling was right again, but he spent too much time with the analysis. He lost too much sleep, even staying overnight a couple of times to crunch the numbers. The door opened, and Ghak'tok went inside to talk with his supervisor, Windy. Ghak'tok. Sorry about making you wait. My meeting went a bit longer than it should have. You sent a message earlier about human statistics. Were the humans' main factors wrong? The translator implants they both had converted the equine's whinnies and nickers to Ghak'tok's clicks and guttural moans. Without the implants, they wouldn't have understood each other, much less speak to each other. The factors they were discussing were the many ways the Confederate planets measured and scaled different features of a species, from 0 to 10. The main factors were the best predictors they had for long-term success. No, they were accurate. 4.87 on intelligence, below average for the species of the Confederate planets, a high degree of adapting new successful ideas, and exceptional at coming up with ideas, but a low degree of correctness. 5.01 for aggression. Balance between cooperative and competitive. Aggressive enough without widespread permanent crippling damage to their species, and peaceful enough without becoming fully complacent. 6.38 for fertility. Prudent consumption and expansion, but a tendency to consume more than available in the environment. Oh, good. Windy showed relief. The Confederate Funding Commission is talking about redistributing funding. The initial treaties for trade and territories for humans have already been signed over 30 standard days ago. Do you realize how badly it would have affected the Confederate Statistics Division if we gave bad numbers to the Confederate ambassadors for a newly discovered species for negotiation? We would have a bigger budget cut than we're going to get. Oops, sorry, keep that to yourself for now. What did you find? The problem is the intelligence factor itself might be wrong. Oh? I thought it was supposed to be one of the biggest indicators for success within the Confederate planets. It is why it's a main factor and not a normal factor. It was 80-something% accuracy? 79.8. But I found something that may be more accurate. It's 83.6%. Here, let me show you. Ghak'tok pulled out his virtual display, showing a graph of all galactic species within the Confederate planets. It started at 3, the theoretical minimum for achieving spaceflight, and ended at 10, the maximum allowed by the test. Sci-Fi was at the lowest, at 3.42. The humans were on the lower end of where most species within the Confederate planets were. Ghak'tok and Windy's own species hovered around the 6.5 mark, the upper end of where most species were. And the Andalors sat at the perfect 10. The intelligence factor is based on accuracy. However, if we adjust it for time taken, fixing Andalors at 10... Watch this. His foretasks tapped some buttons, and the display changed with the numbers adjusting. Andalor remained at 10. Some species swapped places, and Sci-Fi even increased to 4.27. The humans, however, made the biggest jump. 14.70. Windy's eyes widen. Wait, what? What does that mean? I adjusted for time. While a vast majority of human ideas are subpar, they occasionally have ideas that rival Andalor ideas. However, the rate is substantially better than Andalor. Windy was baffled for a moment. But how? Let me show you this. This part of the human's intelligence factor is the frequency aggregation. Ghak'tok then pulled up a graph. It showed a bell curve around the 4.18 mark. However, there was a narrow but astonishingly high peak around the 10 mark. The intelligence factor assumes a normal distribution and uses the average and standard deviation. But humans could be the first known species to have a bimodal distribution instead. Or maybe that is just an outlier. That is what I thought, but every calculation I ran showed it was improbable. 7.1 standard deviations improbable. 3 is statistically significant, and it is 7.1. I did some research, and humans often have what they call epiphanies, dreams or flashes. Humans are aware of this phenomenon, but don't have any conscious control over it. However, they are quick to adapt to those ideas. Windy was quiet momentarily before exclaiming, "This is fantastic news!" "Really? If the Confederate ambassadors knew these numbers, they might not have conceded as much. Especially the Andalors. They love to maintain their influence. We might have set up the humans to become a major power within the Confederate planets. And they are the newest member." "Well, yes, but we can use that to justify a 30 cycle study. Yes, the other species would love to knock the Andalors down a peg. They keep insisting since they are 10, they know better than us. And the Andalors will demand a long study to ensure their dominance, before they are willing to justify any change. The Confederate Statistics Division's budget may even go up. Quality versus quantity." "That wasn't exactly what I said," Ghak'tok weakly protested. But Windy talked over him excitedly. "Oh, I can't wait to send this to Jorpy. Send the summary and those graphs to me right away." Ghak'tok sighed, affirmed, and headed out of the office to his desk to complete the assignment. He could hardly believe it. They discussed potentially galaxy-shattering news, and Windy was only concerned about the budget. But Ghak'tok did his part. With the buzzing finally gone, he did his duty, and anticipated getting some necessary sleep, idly wondering how the future will turn out.